In the middle of the biggest ocean in the world, there is a mysterious island. Easter Island. This island belongs to Chile, and because of its statues, it's very famous. This faraway island was empty until the year 800 AD, and around this year, the Polynesians showed up. If you've seen our video about Polynesians, you'll get to know them a little better. These were people from Asia that pretty much discovered all of the Pacific Ocean, and that's with regular boats. In Easter Island, there's no good soil, and that is why they were only able to farm potatoes. The Polynesians stay on this island and create their own art. And that's the famous statues. These statues are called moai. After the year 800, when the Polynesians showed up, the next time a stranger came along was a long time after that. The year 1722, when a Dutch explorer by the name of Jacob Roggeveen entered this island. He entered on Easter Day, and that is why he named it Easter Island. This explorer has a picture of this island, and he wrote that there's weird statues on this island, and about 2,000 people live here. This Dutch person left, and because how far it is, nobody else showed up. And that's about 100 years later, at the year 1862, another European ship showed up, and they wrote that the population of this island is less than 100 people now. And they were pretty much going extinct to about 2,000 people to under 100 people, and that's about 100 years time. Experts say when the Polynesians entered this island, it was filled with trees. You could say they kind of started attacking the trees on their island. Why? So they can get land and farm potatoes. The more people they had, the more trees they destroyed, and they planted potatoes. They made the island in a way that trees are not found anymore, and they slowly go extinct. The Polynesians go extinct, but these statues remain. Don't look at these statues like this. Most of them are underground. If you dig around them, you'll see that they're about 4 meters tall, and each of them weigh about 14-15 tons. The scientists that did research on this island say the reason the people on this island went extinct, there was not enough food for the people, and since they destroyed all the trees, they couldn't make boats, so they could escape this island. And that is why they were prisoner on this island until the very last person. But other scientists believe that the Polynesians are not at fault, but it's the rats that came along with them. And as you know, rats can multiply so fast, and their population got so bad that they destroyed all the trees. In the days where they were hungry and they couldn't escape the island, they were very angry. And that is why you could see some of the statues were destroyed. The destruction shows it was done by force, not by time. But let's look at some conspiracy theories. The most famous conspiracy theory is that on this island, giants used to live here. But science denies all that, because the graves that were founded on this island had normal sized skeletons in it, and the age of these skeletons shows the Polynesians came here around 800 AD. So the conspiracy that there were giants here is denied, and it's there just because of these statues. A lot of Polynesians are on the islands of the Pacific Ocean. And whenever a stranger showed up to their island, they would always welcome them. But most of the strangers that came to their island were not good people. Like in the year 1860, the Peruvian went to different islands in the Pacific to get slaves. They even took slaves from Easter Island. The Peruvians took the young and healthy people. Even if there was a low percentage that these Polynesians would survive, the Peruvians ruined all of it. And that is why when the Europeans showed up, the population was under 100 people. If you've seen our video about North Sentinel Island, you'll see that the people don't welcome anybody on their island. They do a good thing, because when the Europeans came back to this island, they brought smallpox with them, and the remaining people died with smallpox. There's a rock that's called obsidian. Most of the Polynesian tools were made with these rocks, and they found them all around the island. But it's good to know that you can't find obsidian on this island, and that shows that these obsidians were made elsewhere and brought here. Christopher M. Stevenson has done a lot of research on Easter Island. He says when people starve, they turn to God. And you could say that these statues are the gods of the people that lived here. They kind of made these to get help. But a lot of other people deny that, because the rocks that were used to make these statues came from elsewhere, and handling them needed a lot of strong people. So the population was way more. They believe that this is before the starvation, and it was not considered a god for them. The same experts say that they were very civilized because they were able to sculpt it, and they were obviously able to handle it with all that weight. Either way, the Polynesians died out. But what about now? Just like we said, this is part of Chile, and right now about 7,700 people live here. 40% of them are Chileans, and 60% of them are Polynesians that came from other islands. The people that live here are considered Rapa Nui. Their language is the Chilean language, meaning Spanish, and unlike before, the Polynesians don't own the island anymore.